Welcome to the PFD Performance YouTube channel. Pretty friggin' deadly. All right, back at her this morning. Change of pace here. We ran out of spray adhesive, so I gotta go pick some more up. But in the meantime, to try and make some progress on the Cadillac, I'm gonna take the grille out of the front bumper and the fog light housings out as well. And then I will also need to take out these back interior panels so that I can paint those plastic pieces. And then I get to figure out how to unbolt the seat belt off of the seat so we can get the B-pillar panels out. So that'll be a learning experience. Yeah, might as well get at her. Probably not going to be anything too much to talk about, so I'll throw you on the time lapse and we'll see how she goes. And if anything jumps out at me as overly tricky or something to keep an eye out, I'll stop and take a video. All right. All right, one little snaggle that we found. A couple of these screws were a little bit rusty, and they snapped off in the grill. So I'm gonna take a small drill bit. I think these screws are pretty cheap. They broke incredibly easy. So hoping that just a quick drill and we can get them out. And if you look here, it's not a blind hole. So hopefully that makes it easy to drill them out without making a mess. Wish me luck. All right, well, I guess these screws were a little harder than I expected. They're not really drilling out, so instead of beating my head against the wall, I'm gonna jump to getting the rest of the bumper taken apart. So we'll have to figure that one out later. All right, there we have it. The front bumper is stripped. There's a little bit of damage here. Here's this section and this section supposed to have some plastic that helps the lip hook in. You can see it on this side. This side's all intact. And this side here's got a bit of a crease to it. So I think we might try and heat that up and get it flat again, just so we're not fighting with it, putting on our new splitter. And yeah, got the fog lights out, got the rubber isolator out, or the hood stop, and the grill's all out. So I'm gonna move on to the interior parts next. I just did a quick look. I honestly think the only thing holding these in is gonna be those two pins, and then I think these should come out. Fingers crossed. Not 100% sure. Time will tell. Well, for once that was kind of nice. The back panels came out a little bit easier than expected. So it was just the one screw there and a couple clips. And then this side I just had to loosen the rail. And again, it was just the one last torque screw there. Just see him sitting here. Had a little bit of Loctite, so took a bit of oomph to break them free, but once they were broke free, it wasn't too bad. Now we're gonna move on to the fun part, which looks like it could be less fun than the other one. It's taking the seat belt off of the seat. So I put the seat all the way forward and all the way up, and I'm gonna see if we can get access here, but there's not a lot of room. Now, it does look like there's a nut on the back. I'm not sure if that's gonna spin once we get going with this, but we shall see. All right, well, that was a learning experience. So I had this all taken apart. There's a seatbelt tensioner clip there. Had to take off this door panel to be able to lift the seat high enough to get this out. And guess what? The seatbelt just comes apart with one screw right there. And then that just slides through the B-pillar. So, don't do what I did. Learn from my mistakes. And just take apart this little thing. Yep. Much easier. Well, I'm gonna put this side back together and then do the other side the easy way. But on the plus side, I did find $2.50. So that's a win. Put that into the pot to buy more performance parts on this thing. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. All right, I'll put this back together. All right, well, that was a productive day. We were able to get the plasti dip off of the fog light housings. I was able to take the badge off the grill, get the plasti dip off of a couple of the grill parts. I also had the badge smoked with plasti dip, so I was able to get that off. I was able to get the wheel liners out. So if we come over here, I was able to get these wheel liners out. Only broke a couple of the lovely GM push pins. Luckily, those are pretty cheap to replace. So yeah, the wheel liners are out. So I think the last thing before we start stripping paint is to get the fender vents out, badges off, and then it's scuffing time. But maybe once Danny gets here, hopefully later tonight, we can kind of walk through some of this and see what all is left. Throw the battery charger back on. So with me going back to work on Monday, and me not being the paint guy, we'll have to follow up with Danny, see what makes sense for me to do. But I've got a mountain of interior parts. Some of them need the plastics removed from the from the carpet. These will need to get pulled out of the B-pillars. I'll have to take apart the front, like, console by the mirror. I'll have to take the dome light out of the headliner up there. And then all those plastics are gonna get painted. And then the scary part of probably pulling the headliner down and trying to wrap it. The Malibu one didn't quite turn out as good as I wanted. There's a couple wrinkles in there, a couple wrinkles back there, but for a race car, I think it will do. And realistically, it's probably better than what is in there now, tickling the top of your head as you drive down the road. But this material isn't as nice, doesn't have as much stretch. So hopefully the good material and the big headliner on the wagon works like we hope. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for today, unless Danny makes his way here. And yeah, catch you in a bit. Thanks again for sticking around to the end of the video. We're starting to make good progress and are getting closer to sharing the paint process with you all. If you follow our Instagram, you may have seen some more current updates, but we're going to try and upload more frequently to catch up. Stay deadly, and we'll see you on the next one.